making their second go-round in the league, the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers.
Well, Jeff, thank you very much. We got to settle this, though, first. I'm taking Janelle all day in that one-on-one matchup. No disrespect to Smooth. Coach Nolan's still with me. So happy to have, like Jeff mentioned, the newest members of the MAAC, though, but year two, Antoine White, Joe Raffalo joining us from Mount St. Mary's. Coach, how you doing today?
We're doing well today. Thank you guys so much for having us here at this beautiful venue on a very beautiful day, and we're excited, and all the momentum's headed in the right direction.
You talk momentum. I think it's a great place to start. This Mountaineers program, now year two in the MAAC. I know we're all interested to know what you all learned in year one. A successful debut for your program is now you get ready for year two in the league.
Yeah, getting ready for year two and finishing up year one. The one thing that we learned is a lot of great coaches in this conference, a lot of great players, a lot of great recruiters, and that excites me because myself and my coaching staff, we fit in very well with the MAAC, and we got talented players like Joe Raffalo who fits well in the MAAC, and we got some brand new additions as well that's, I believe, is going to take our program and to the next level.
Now, and Coach, sometimes when you change leagues, jump over to another league, you have to change your style. How has that affected your philosophy?
Yeah, that's a great question. Early on, we were playing extremely fast, and we were shooting a lot of threes, and we thought that was the way we had to win games in the MAAC, and we kind of had to change gears, and we slowed the pace down a lot, and I think that helped us out a lot down the stretch. If you look at our basketball that we were playing the last month of the season, we played some really, really good basketball, and that was because of the style of play, and we're going to build off of that momentum and carry it into this season.
And Joe, I know you're no stranger to the MAAC statistics. How has the beginning of this season played out for you?
The beginning of this season this year, we're kind of just trying to develop as a team right now. Tons of new faces, lots of key additions that are going to plug in some missing pieces that we've had in the past. But we're just trying to kind of make our spot in the MAAC. Like last year, I know we had our first year. We were just trying to kind of make our way, but this year it's really time to establish ourselves, so we've just been defensively focused and trying to get ready for this year.
And as you got more familiar with the league, right, and the venues and the different competitors that you'll play against, now take it to this year, and you mentioned this culture building, team building that you and your classmates are going through. How's it been in practice? How's it been in lift and workouts as far as those teammates bonding together in advance of the season?
We have an undeniable chemistry on this team. I think our chemistry beats any other team I've ever seen. We get along so well on and off the court. So I think that's going to play a huge factor into the way we play together offensively and defensively. In lift, we're all together, we're singing, we're laughing. In practice, cracking jokes, but we also focus and lock in because we all have the same common goal, and that's where that chemistry comes from.
And Coach, winning is nothing rare down in Emmitsburg. What would it mean to bring a MAAC championship trophy back there?
That's always the goal. This program has had a lot of success over the last couple years, and first year in the MAAC, obviously, it was a roller coaster for us. But I thought we handled ourselves extremely well. We were pretty competitive outside of a few games, and that's always the goal in our program is to get back there. But we got a long ways to go. We're just taking it day by day, continue to be competitive, and continue to work on our culture. And when the time is right, we'll be there, and we'll be in the mix of things.
And Coach, to kind of take that a step further, you mentioned the learning curve that happens in year one. Like you said, up and down, good and bad. But now as you enter year two with your team, what were the biggest, and you kind of addressed it, started to, but what were those biggest takeaways from year one with how the MAAC is, how they play, the teams and coaches in this league play as opposed to your previous league?
Yeah, all my peers, they do an awesome job of getting their teams prepared for games. And then you look at the players, it's a very strong physical conference, and if you watched us play last year, the one thing that really stood out was just the lack of size that we had, and a lot of the MAAC teams took advantage of that because they were just bigger than us. So something we really struggled with was rebounding, and we went out and we addressed that with some of our true freshmen and a couple kids out of the portal. So we'll be bigger, we'll be longer, we'll be a little bit more athletic, and I think that's going to even out the playing field for us this year.
And Joe, you're one of the veterans who know the MAAC after going through one season. What do you share with your new teammates about the MAAC?
It's explaining to them that the MAAC isn't only a combination of size, it's skill. Like, these girls are huge, skilled, athletic, talented athletes. So that kind of needs to be the first thing that they put through their mind. But it's such a competitive league that every game is a dogfight. Like from top to bottom, every team in the MAAC is competitive. So we just kind of got to understand that we have to battle in every single game and not look past anybody.
Joe, I've got to go back to an answer that you gave to a few questions ago. You mentioned you have to sing with your teammates sometimes. Is there a go-to song that you'll get it going with during practice or lift?
Oh.
I know that's the definition of putting someone on the spot. I know. What would be your go-to song to sing?
Let me think. Well, I'm going to shout out my teammate Jackie Christ right now. We've been out there belting Bleeding Love by Leona Lewis a few times. And then also shouting out Gabby Kennerly. We've been singing Drunken Love by Beyonce like every single day for the past week. So those are probably my two go-tos.
And Coach, I'm going to put you on the
Diane's
spot.
too.
What, if you had one word, you can hyphenate it, to describe your team right now, what would it be?
Great question. I would say bounce back. This team, I coach very tough. I hold them accountable
Really?
every single day. I've never been around a group that responds so well to tough coaching. If we have a bad day, it's been very rare that this group double downs on that, and they have 2 bad days or 3 bad days in a row. It's very, very rare that we've experienced that with this group, and that excites me because that lets me know that this group, they want to be coached. They don't mind the tough coaching. They hold each other accountable, and they hold me accountable as well. So I would say bounce back. I don't know if that's not one word, but we'll go with that.
Well, you can hyphenate it.
I think we'll hyphenate that. And great plug with the double down reference here in Atlantic City. I see you know what you're doing. We've mentioned this team now in year 2. And Joe, I'm curious to get your thoughts as you get ready for this year. We've talked about your teammates and everything else. How about you individually? What have you added to your game you worked on in the offseason to have an even more successful second year after a great year last year?
Absolutely. As we can see, I do have a very tall frame, so I have been in the weight room just trying to build that muscle so I can have a more physical game. I've always shot from the outside, but just trying to work so I can be physical in the paint to just add to my versatility in scoring. And then defense. Defense has always been just like a working point for me, so just trying to make me an inside-outside defender and just kind of lead the team through scoring, rebounding, defense. That's been my main focus thus far.
And Joe, I understand you have a new locker room and there's some new things coming to the Mount.
Yes.
How exciting is it to come out of your locker room into that arena? Because I know the place gets jumping when you've got them all out there cheering for you.
Yeah, there's no better feeling than coming out of the locker room and walking into Knott Arena, especially with this beautiful new locker room that we've just gotten. Knott is a very special place. I'm biased, but to me it's the most beautiful gym in the country. There's nowhere else like it. The crowd is electrifying and our support is amazing, so there's nothing like it.
And we've talked a little bit about what makes this Mount program so special, Coach, whether it's the success that you enjoyed early on in your tenure, going to an NCAA tournament. Joe, some of the great things you and your teammates are doing. What would you tell the MAAC fan makes Mount St. Mary's such a special place?
It's the fans. It's the fans. It's the community. It's the support that we get from our administrators. That's what makes the Mount so special. And if you spend time on our campus, you see that right away. It's a family atmosphere, and because of that, that's why it makes the Mount and Knott Arena such a special place.
And Joe, what's your favorite place on campus?
You know my answer. Knott Arena.
Well, let's say Coach isn't here, other than the athletic center.
Okay.
Cafeteria.
Patriot Dining Hall.
Ah,
Best place on campus.
and that'll get you a better meal.
Yeah.
Well, Coach Joe, we really appreciate the time today and really want to wish you the best of luck now in year 2. Thanks for joining